Okay, so if you can just kind of keep your yourself muted, that'd be great. So hope everybody's making it through well and getting through the crazy times that we're in. I know it's been a wild couple of months for us, and I know for those of you who I've been in contact with, some of you guys feel like I've talked to pretty regularly, and some of you guys just maybe here and there. So we hope everybody's doing well. We hope that you're all healthy and feeling good, and hopefully all your businesses are making it through. Your employment situation is good, hopefully. And so thoughts and prayers to everyone out there in the Platinum basketball family. So welcome to Platinum. Welcome to our elite organization. This meeting was supposed to take place in person back in March at our first camp. And I had a whole agenda ready for that parent meeting. And here we are 2 months later, and we're having our first parent meeting on a Zoom in a weird time, right? So, but welcome. So what we're doing is we have what we call our elite organization or our Adidas teams. I think most of you guys are aware of that. This organization was hand selected. So every player that's in this Zoom tonight, all of you guys' daughters, was basically asked individually by us to play. There's no tryout, anything like that. We watched almost all of them play this year in high school. That is their tryout. Their tryout is playing for their high school team. And so, I just want you to know that we're honored to have all of you guys in the organization. We've been meeting with the girls quite a bit through Zoom and GroupMe and things like that. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. But just to all of you guys as parents, we just want to say welcome to the organization. We have 37 girls in this elite part of Platinum, which will make up 4 teams. We plan on having a 2021 team, 2 2022 teams, and a 2023 team. So a freshman, 2 sophomore teams, and a junior team. That's what we plan on doing. But of all those girls, 15 of those are returning from last year, and 22 are new to the club. So we have more folks on here that have never played in our organization than we do folks that are returning. So, that's exciting for us because we feel like we wanted to bring back the ones that were great players, that had a great attitude, that wanted to be great, that wanted to be a part of what we're doing. They really bought into all the things we believe in. So we have those girls, and then we went out and found a whole bunch of new ones that really are going to bring a ton of just everything that you want in an organization. A lot of great players. I could go all through it, but I won't do that. But every single player on here, every single one of your daughters, we know them individually and personally. We know why we brought them in. We know, why we invited them. So I think that's kind of unique. You guys are invited. It's not like a tryout where you just happen to make it. You happen to be one of the best that came to that tryout, so you got a spot. That's not what this is about. This is an invitation situation. So anyway, welcome to the club. My name's Jay Bruce. My wife is Taylor. She'll be on here in a minute. She's one of our coaches. And one of my favorite things about Platinum is our coaching staff is really good. And we put together an amazing coaching staff. And so the first thing I'd like to do tonight is introduce you guys to our coaches, okay? And so we're going to just go real quick, and I'm going to ask the coaches as I bring you on, just be real brief, but introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about yourself, your family, tell them where you live, tell them, what you do for a living as far as your coaching or otherwise, and then we'll roll right through that. So let me pull up our first coach here. I'm going to start with Coach Tim Bartlett, who is one of my best friends in the world. It's not letting me spotlight you, Tim, for some reason. So I guess just go ahead and start talking. But Tim Bartlett is a former coach and really close friend of mine, kind of like a rival also. We had some battles at times when we were both coaching for a living. But Tim's been with us here in Platinum for a couple years, and he helps me run the organization. So Tim, jump on, introduce yourself to everybody real quick. And I don't know why it's got me as the host of the meeting, but it's not letting me click spotlight. So I'm always messing up the Zoom. So go ahead and jump in, Tim.
Can you hear me, Jay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's nice to meet everyone via Zoom. Look forward to meeting you all in person when we can all, we don't have to social distance. We can actually do live with each other again in person. So, yeah, so like Jay said, my name is Tim Bartlett. My wife and I live in Salina, Texas, North Dallas. Carla is the head softball coach here. And so she enjoys that. They had a great team this year, really had a chance to make a run. And we all know how unfortunate the end of the school year was for sports. So we'll never know what would have happened with the team this year. But we have a little toddler. It's going to be 3 in July. Brooklyn is our only. She might be our one and only. And so, but anyways, we love sports. My background is in coaching. Like Joey talked about, we were coaching friends. Now I've got several different businesses that I'm a part of. And help Jay run Platinum. Really, my role in Platinum is I do a lot of the behind the scenes and operations and things of that nature. Jay oversees our elite program. I also oversee our club teams, which is not elite teams. It's just kids that want to get better, and we have boys and girls teams there. So, anyways, we're fired up about this program. We have some of the best players all across the state, and we're going to have great teams and a lot of success. So, fired up to see everybody.
Perfect. Great job, Tim. And Tim's going to be working with our 2022 team this summer. And so one thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be coaching. Each team will have coaches, but we also are going to coach everybody together. In other words, at the practices or camps, our vision, of course, everything's a little different right now, but our vision is for all the coaches to coach all the teams, all the kids in their strengths. And so if you hear a coach and you say, well, that's not my kid's coach, the coach will probably still be coaching your kid in some way. So I'm going to kick it over next to Coach Joanna Daniel, if I can find her. Let me see here. There she is. Joanna is my sister-in-law, and Joanna helped me start. We started Platinum together, the two of us, and she's been coaching with Platinum from day one. She played college basketball. She's a stud. She's a winner. So, Joe, I'm going to pass it over to you to introduce yourself.
Hi. Can y'all hear me? Good?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Joanna Daniel. I'm Jay Bruce's sister-in-law. Taylor's my sister. Like you said, I've been doing this since it started with Molly, my youngest sister. So I guess since she was a freshman, we started it. But I teach and coach at Highland Park Junior High right now. I've been at Bullard. I coached with two great coaches, Coach Gill and Coach Hightower while I was there. And then I went out to Tomball, and I coached at Tomball High School with Doug Barncastle for a year. He was my high school coach, and he was super successful, and I'd always wanted to coach with him before I got out of coaching, and that was just a perfect time for me to do it. I really enjoyed the junior high. I was kind of nervous at first to coach younger girls just because they're still trying to figure out if they like basketball, and they're not super passionate about it, and some of them just play to play. But it's been really fun to get to know that age group and just be around them. But I'm excited to get back to the high school. I'll be doing the 2021 team. And, yeah, I'm excited to meet all y'all parents and get everything started.
Perfect. And, Joe, you're actually going to be the 23s, right, the freshmen?
Oh, 2023, yeah, you're right.
So Joe will be helping with the 23 team.
Numbers freshmen are hard.
It's all good. It's all good. Perfect. Great job. Joe was a great college player. She has like records at her school and assists and threes and all kind of stuff. So she won't say that. But had a great college career. So I'm going to pass it now over to the man himself, Coach Bobby Bates. Coach Bates is the legend of our coaching staff, won over 700 games as a high school coach, and has an incredible resume. I don't know how we convinced him to coach with us in Platinum. But Coach Bates, I'm going to kick it over to you to introduce yourself real quick.
Awesome. Well, Coach Bates, and I tell you, I wouldn't be coaching if it wasn't for Tim and Jay and Taylor and Coach Daniels, our other coaches. That's what drew me to Platinum basketball. But I retired from high school coaching, 34 years of coaching. I coached boys and girls, small school, big school, a little bit of everything. And I never got tired of coaching. I still had a passion for basketball. I just got tired of the other school crap, to be honest with you. So went ahead and retired, and then got back into coaching basketball last year. I coached the 15U team last year. Joanna and I'll be coaching the 15U team again this year. We're excited about that. I thought we had a great team last year. We were 28-7, and I think this year's team, the group that we put together, is going to be even better than that. So that's exciting, and we can't wait to get started. We're going to play fast, and it's going to be a lot of fun as soon as we can get this thing going. So that's all I got, Jay.
Awesome. Great job, Coach. All right, let's keep rolling. I'm going to bring on Coach Collins and let him introduce himself. Coach Collins, we met last year. He's also got a daughter in this organization, and he did a great job for us last year, and we're excited to have him back. So, Coach Collins, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, my name's Coach Joe Collins. I'm a coach at Wills Point right now, working on building a program there. I was in the military 23 years, so kind of got into coaching late. I've always wanted to coach, but I didn't want to be a poor coach, so figured I'd retire from the military first. Spent a year with as a volunteer coach in South Dakota, St. Thomas More High School. We had 4 D1 players. They ended up winning state, so that was a great year. And then last year, I had my daughter on Coach Bates' team and was sitting on the sideline, figured out what a great coach he was, and I thought, you know what, I need to be out there learning from him and not sitting over here. So I went out there and anyway, ended up coaching for Platinum, and they asked me to come back this year, which is it's great. If you haven't watched this type of basketball before, it's a lot of fun when every girl on the court and every girl on the bench knows basketball. They know how to play. They learn quick. They pick up quick, and just it's really fun to watch the decisions they make and the things they do on the court. And just really enjoyed it. And it's a coach's dream to coach a group of girls like this.
Love it. Perfect, Coach. Great job. Thank you. Good deal. All right, now I'm going to introduce you guys to Coach Tracy Carter. And let me see if I can find him. Oh, there. No, that's not you. Coach Carter, where you at? You on? I know I saw you on here. Oh, there you are. Sorry, there's so many little boxes. All right, Coach Tracy Carter is a great high school coach in East Texas. I've known him for several years when I was coaching for a living. He's well respected. Anyway, we're very blessed to have him in the organization. So, Coach Carter, introduce yourself to everybody.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah, like Jay said, Coach Tracy Carter, originally from Oklahoma, grew up there, played college ball in Oklahoma, ended up down in the Metroplex. Got 9 years of experience in the Metroplex, coaching the various schools. Moved out here to East Texas, took my first head coaching job, and I've got 17 years of head coaching experience. I'm currently head coach at Maybank. That's where we reside. And this is my wife, married. This is my wife, Evelyn. I have a daughter that's a sophomore that's with the organization, and also have a 6th grade boy that plays. And I'll be coaching those guys as well. But really excited. My kids had a great time playing last year. Fond memories. I'm super excited about getting the summer started and getting these kids out there and competing. I really enjoy it, and it's a super organization. And I will say that due to our very uncharted waters we've been going through, I think the organization with Jay and Tim have done a super job of these Zoom meetings, doing the best they can to get the girls familiar with one another prior to getting together for the first time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Great job, Coach. Next, I'm going to introduce you guys to my wife, who I think is walking in the door behind me. Let her say hello. It's back.
Sorry, when you have a 3-year-old who wants to like take a walk right before it all starts, then you just have to kind of, adjust on the move. So this is Addie. And she loves the Platinum Girls. She absolutely, it's so funny when we have Zooms and stuff, she gets on here and we put up a fake screen and she talks to the Platinum Girls. And so she loves it. But anyway, I'm going to be coaching our junior girls, which I'm fired up about. I can't tell you enough about what Jay and Tim have done for these girls, being how we are right now. So you're definitely part of something that's really special. And your girls are in great hands, I can promise you that, with all coaches throughout the spectrum. and they're gonna learn a lot, and it's gonna be a fun summer for them. But I graduated from Martins Mill, won 2 state championships. As y'all know, my sister won 1, and then we have 2 other sisters that won 2. And so, basketball's in our world. We love it. And we're intense, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I played college basketball and have just been around the coaching world for a long time. So that's how Jay and I met, was through the coaching world. And so most of y'all can tell we're also expecting, you can't tell this way, but you can tell this way. We're expecting another little girl, so we're excited about that. And, Addie has definitely grown up in the basketball world, and so we're always excited that she can be a part of something like this. So we are definitely looking forward to it. We're excited to see everybody in, I guess, less than a week now. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great summer. So I look forward to meeting all of y'all.
You tell them hi.
Bye.
So go Platinum.
Go Platinum.
All right.
All right, come on.
See you later. Awesome. So we got one more coach I want to introduce you guys to, Coach Sisney. And Coach Sisney is very new to the club. I knew Coach Sisney when we were coaching. We ran into each other back in East Texas. Actually, we were helping each other scout another opponent one year. We got to be friends. Then we ended up playing each other in the playoffs. But anyway, Coach Sisney and I have been friends ever since. And so kind of like some of the rest of us, used to be in coaching, got out. But the cool thing about him is he's very passionate, like hardcore, about player development and individual skill development. So he's not going to be coaching one of our teams. That's not his thing. He is our Platinum Elite individual skill development guy, okay? And I'm fired up about that because it's good to have somebody focused on that specific thing. So he'll be at the camps working on that. He's also been posting videos for the kids on the GroupMe. So if your daughter is lazy and sitting around the house, all you have to do is say, hey, there's a video on your GroupMe of a workout. Why don't you go do the workout on the GroupMe video, okay? And so that's on there, and they need to be doing those. It's not like a mandatory thing. He's also available. You can schedule individual sessions with him. I know everybody's spread out all over the state, but maybe he can even get on Zooms and stuff if you want. So anyway, Coach Sisney, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, my name is Michael Sisney. You don't have to call me Coach. You can call me Michael. But I played basketball in college and then came out and immediately started coaching in high school, much like a lot of people here. Coached everywhere from West Texas to the city that I live in now, to East Texas, and everything from 1A to 6A. Most of my coaching experiences is with boys, and I was fortunate enough to train and to coach a guy that made it to the NBA, and 6 or 7 Division I players, and I was kind of I did a lot of the same skill development stuff that I'm going to do with the girls with these guys, just maybe a little bit farther away from the rim. But a lot of the same footwork, a lot of the same things that I taught those guys applies to just basketball in general. And it's something that their high school coaches get caught up a lot in, they have to coach the team and they have to spend a lot of their practice on coaching the team. Whereas I really like doing individual stuff now. I don't coach anymore. I got out, I went to law school at SMU, and I got out, and now I'm an attorney. But I do still like to do individual development. I kind of found that in coaching a team, I was really negative, as a lot of you coaches can understand. I mean, your job is to be critical, and that was kind of carrying over into other parts of my life. And so I probably picked a career that didn't help with that much, because a lot of my job as an attorney is being negative. But I do find that I can be a lot more positive, and that I really do like player development stuff, like Jay said. And so I'll be popping in and out of the practices, when they slot time for player development, I'll be in there and we'll do, not so much like basketball camp, put the ball around your waist, put the ball around your leg, 2-ball dribble, but like really like dribble moves that are going to help beat the person in front of them, and how to, you know, step into a jump shot correctly, and the most efficient way and the best way to move your defender and to create space and to things like that. So anyway, I have a lot of fun with it. And it's something that I've just started getting into, probably back into in the last, I don't know, 3-4 months, but I do really enjoy it. Some of the kids, some of your daughters have sent me videos of them, you know, making some of the moves that I put on YouTube, teaching them how to make, and you know, they've sent me videos asking questions. I always respond immediately if I can. Obviously, you know, if it's in the day and I'm in court, I can't just get out my phone in the middle of the courtroom. The judges tend to frown upon that. But I try to get back to them as quickly as I can, and I really do like it, and I really do enjoy it. Like Coach Bruce said, I'm putting out a video a week of just something that the kids can probably get done in 10 to 15 minutes, you know. And so if they're telling you, you know, we don't have anything to do because it's quarantine, they're lying. They absolutely have something to do. And so I've been having a lot of fun with that, and hopefully, you know, some of the kids have too. But yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it. And I'm looking forward to working with, you know, each and every one of your daughters. That's all I got, Jay.
Perfect. Great job. And yeah, that's good stuff. And I told him, you know, if you're going to do player development for us, I really want it to be a higher level. And that's what he wants to do. I mean, high school coaches can only do so much in a practice because your daughter is probably the best player on her high school team, or one of the best players on her high school team, right? And so high school coaches have to keep things a little bit more basic, but we want this to be tailored for an elite player. And if what he's teaching is too hard, I promise you it'll make them better trying to do it. It will. And if the moves he's teaching them are too crazy, then they're not going to go do them in their high school game because their coach is going to say, don't do that move in a high school game. I promise you them working on that move all summer will make them better as a player. Doesn't mean they have to go do it, you know, 15 times a game. So anyway, I'm excited about him being a part of what we're doing. So with that, just want to talk real briefly about what we've been doing during the quarantine. If you don't know, we created a GroupMe, which is an app for the girls to be able to communicate all in one group. One thing I would ask that you could do to help me is just ask them to continue to pay attention to that GroupMe. I told them being on the GroupMe is just like being at a practice. It's important because if we're communicating something, we have to do everything different right now, right? It's just a different world we live in. So I want them to check that and communicate. If I go in there and say, hey, everybody respond to this or that, I want them to respond. I don't want to have to go text them outside the GroupMe app and track them down and all that, because that's just, I want them to be responsible. I want them to take responsibility. This is an elite thing. And so anyway, we expect them to be on that and paying attention to what's going on. Also the Zooms, been doing those every Monday. We will have another one this coming Monday. Again, we expect them to be on those. And if they can't, all I ask is they let somebody know. And hopefully if we record it, we'll send them the recording. We've recorded most of them. But if they can be on it, we really appreciate them being on it. Also, we interviewed a few college coaches, and we put those on YouTube and shared them in the GroupMe. I have 2 more college coaches ready to be interviewed now. I'm going to get that done the next week or 2. So we're trying to continue to provide more information for the kids and for you on how to get them recruited, how to get them seen, how to get all that process going, and what can I be doing during a quarantine to get better. So if you haven't watched the videos of the interviews that I did with 2 coaches so far, if you're interested in it, go watch them. It's all about what should I be doing to get seen. And a lot of parents want their kid to play college basketball. They have no idea what they should be doing. And we're going to help with that, but we can only do so much. One of our biggest ways to help is just to educate you on what to do. And unfortunately, even that is a little different right now. What I would normally be telling you need to be doing is just all jacked up right now, as you know. So anyway, but we did those videos. We also created player profiles. A young lady from Royce City helped us with that. And so on our website, if you go to platinumbasketball.org, which we're going to go to that site here in a minute to talk about our registration, but underneath player profiles, each girl has a page with their photo, their profile information, which is just kind of like a snapshot of what coaches want to know about them, and then their highlight video and a link to their social media. And so a college coach, all he wants to know is what grade she in, what position she play, how tall is she, does she make good grades, and send me the highlight video. That's what they want. And all that's on the profile. So it's trying to simplify your life and their life and communicating things out to the coach. Just send the link to your profile page instead of having to send the 15 different bullets plus the highlight video, plus then they're going to say, what's your Twitter? They want to know their Twitter. They want to know their Instagram. All of it's in one place. And so that's just something extra we did. That's not something really we were planning on doing, but since we got in a holding pattern, we got together, the coaches, and we said, what can we do to make things better, like to make our organization better during a quarantine? And we came up with this idea. So go check those out. I think you'll like them if you haven't already seen them. PlatinumBasketball.org, and then click under Elite under Player Profiles, and you'll see your daughter in that. Okay, let's move into getting started. So let's talk about getting started back here during this virus. And so I'm not a public official, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a scientist, okay? And I'm not a political, and I'm not getting on there to be political. So all that just is a disclaimer, all right? And this Zoom is not to get on here and debate if we're going to start and all that. Because we're going to, as long as there's not a new guideline put in place between now and next week, which I think the governor's supposed to make, that new announcement on the 18th. As long as something doesn't change, it looks like we're going to have the ability to open, the gym is going to be open, and it's going to be open for business under certain restrictions. And so we are going to move forward. Now, I'm not stupid. I'm aware that not everybody agrees on we should be going back to normal. Some people think we should be completely back to normal. Some people think we should all be locked in our houses. And I'm not on here to argue about either one, okay? So I'm just telling you what we're going to do at Platinum Basketball. We're going to move on and move forward. Now, the good news is you can make your own decisions with your own family, obviously. And we have 100% respect for whatever decision that you make. And if you make a decision not to bring your daughter to the camp right now, that is 100% your decision to make. And we will not be penalizing them in any sense. In other words, we're not going to say, oh, well, she can't play, she's out, she's off the team, or anything like that. We're aware that right now is a tentative time, and so we're willing to give you a little bit of time. Now, if it's a month from now and we're starting tournaments, and then all of a sudden you show up and we've been practicing for a month, obviously common sense would say that she's going to have some stuff to learn. She's going to have to work her way back into the mix. That's not us holding it against her that she wasn't there. That's just common sense, okay? So that's just kind of where we stand on that. So we're going to start back with everybody that wants to start back, and that is going to start on Wednesday the 20th, next week. And so I'm going to share my screen here and show you a little bit of information about that. So let me get that going. So I actually just got this email since the Zoom started, which is I'm on the fly here. This is the first thing you see. This is from Game On Sports, and they asked us to send this out to all the parents. It's talking about checking in at the front desk through an app. I'll send you this form. It's also going through all their different guidelines and stuff, and I haven't even read that. So I'll send that to everybody after the Zoom. But it's just a little bit of information about the facility and what's going on with the facility. So here is, again, I'm going to send all these forms to everybody tonight through an email. So if you don't have to try to write this down. I'm going to send it out, but I'm just going to cover it real briefly. So on the 20th, we're going to go from 10 to 5. The reason we go so long is because we have girls spread out all over the state, literally. And some of you guys are a long way away. So if we drive in for a practice, we want to make it worth your while. We don't want to just practice and go home. Then you got to turn around and drive back the next week. We can get a couple of 2.5 practices in. That's what this is, in one trip. And so we're trying to do that for your sake. We could practice twice a week, but for your sake with the travel, we feel like it's easier to do it all at once. So that's why it's a long camp. So on Wednesday the 20th, registration, this is going to be at Game On Sports in Fort Worth. You should have that information. I'll get it out to you if you need it. But it's on the west side of Fort Worth, right at 820 and 30. So it's on the into Fort Worth, right off the highway. It's easy to get to. It's kind of like a field house. If you've never been there, it's got 8 courts. It's got baseball facility in it. It's got beach volleyball outside. It's got a little soccer. It's got all that stuff. And so they are planning on being open. We have 3 courts booked. Okay, from 9:30 to 10 will be registration. And Coach Bartlett's going to get on here in just a minute and talk about how to register for Platinum. But I'm pretty sure this letter that the facility just sent out makes it available for you to come in the facility. I was not expecting that. So my paper here says drop off. So we'll figure that out. We got to figure that out. I'll let you know. I'll put that in the email. But if the facility is willing to let you come in and sit in the stands or whatever, then we're good with that. That's completely between the facility and their guidelines. What they've told us is that we've got to keep each court separated with these huge curtains. We've got to keep our groups to 10 players or less per court at all times, okay? But anyway, if you see on the sign here, we have a drop-off. We're going to have coaches in the parking lot when you drop off. We're going to have a waiver that's going to have several things on it with regard to the virus that you're going to sign. It's going to say, has your daughter had any fever? Has she been sick? Has she been exposed to the virus? Has anybody in your immediate household been exposed? And it's going to say, I release, it's a release form that you're giving permission for her to come in there and play. So that's going to be something you're going to have to sign at the beginning. If it's not in the parking lot, it'll be inside. Again, we'll see how that goes. But be prepared to drop them off, okay? I know it's inconvenient if you drive a long way to have to sit in your car all day or something, or have to find something to do. I apologize. That's not my, it's not my fault, but we're just doing the best we can. If the facility will let you come in and keep your distance, then by all means, come on in, okay? We're going to practice from 10 to 12, and then we're going to have a lunch hour from 12 to 1. During the lunch hour, if you want to pick your kid up, take them out somewhere else to lunch, that's fine. If you want them to come sit in your car for lunch, that's fine. During a regular period, we were going to make them all be together. We want them to become friends. We want them to spend time together. But during this weird time, we're going to loosen that up. If you want to bring lunch to them or them bring their own lunch, that's fine. We are going to provide Chick-fil-A, not like a plate, a big plate, but individual bags with individual meals in them. It's going to be nuggets and fries. I'll ask the girls before the camp who wants a Chick-fil-A meal. If they say me, I'm going to order them one. When it comes time for lunch, we're going to have all the Chick-fil-A ready. They can go in, get it, sit socially distanced on their court with their 10 and eat their lunch, okay? But again, if you want to pick them up, if you want to do something different during that hour, by all means, do whatever. That's fine. We're going to just be in a break. We're going to have a ton of bottled water. So you don't have to worry about your kid drinking after somebody else or drinking out of one of those water bottles and passing it back and forth to somebody. We're only going to use bottled water. We're going to have a bunch of it. Your daughter can grab one out of an ice chest and keep it in her backpack or whatever. If you want them to bring their own bottled water from your house, that's your choice, okay? If you don't feel comfortable with them reaching in an ice chest and grabbing a bottle of water, that's your deal. You can have them bring their own water, but we're going to have some ice chests full of bottled water. Nobody will be drinking after anybody. Basketballs will be provided by us. We'll have a bunch of them, and we will disinfect them all before we start. We'll disinfect them again at lunch. Hand sanitizer. I've got a box right here beside me of big, huge boxes of hand sanitizer. Every coach is going to have bottles of hand sanitizer. Every hour or so, we're going to ask them to stop, get everybody to come over there. We're going to spray everybody's hands down, and everybody's going to sanitize throughout the day as we go, okay? Again, each court will have huge curtains separating the groups of 10. And then the last thing on the page there, this first camp, at least for sure, we're going to have to play this by ear, guys, but this first camp, we will not make any physical contact at all. Nobody will touch nobody, okay? No scrimmage, no blocking out, no screening where you touch. We're not going to touch each other. We can still do a lot of stuff without touching each other, all right? So for now, that's where we're going to be. I will let you know when we take it to the next level and go back to making actual contact with each other. We'll get to that point hopefully soon, but for now we won't be touching each other. So I'll send you that page in a minute, but that's a quick brief description of what we're going to be doing on the 20th. And then at the end of the Zoom, if you have questions, I'll let you ask questions. So let's shift gears real quick to money. Let's talk about some money. Okay, so here, let me just first talk about it. So financials. So we're at a weird time again. We don't know for sure how many tournaments we're going to have. All right, we don't know. And I'm going to get so let's just stop talking about the schedule. I'm working on a new revised tournament schedule. All right. I got an email from the NCAA yesterday stating that they have still not made a final determination on the July viewing periods, which means in July, normally there's certain weeks that college coaches go watch, have the ability, it's called open viewing times, and college coaches can come watch tournaments. And our schedule, if you have our schedule, all of our tournaments just about in July are during those dates. The NCAA has been asked by major coaches or organizations to cancel those, which is disappointing. But that's what they've been asked to do. But they haven't canceled them, which is a little bit surprising, which is a little bit encouraging. What I do anticipate happening, and I've talked to multiple people that run clubs and run tournaments, I anticipate them recommending teams stay regional, and I anticipate them having some tournaments going on all during July. But I anticipate them being some type of live stream deal where college coaches are watching it through some kind of stream. That's what I anticipate. And I've talked to some guys that are high up in the world of select basketball, like Joey Simmons and these people. And so we're going to just do what everybody else is doing, okay? So let me just be clear. If the big-time clubs like Texas Elite and like, Pro Skills and like Texas U and all these other clubs that we're competing against, and our goal is to be the best club in the state. We'll get to that in a minute. But if all the other big-time clubs stop and don't play, then we won't play. If all the other big-time clubs are playing, we're going to be playing. If they're all playing in a tournament that's being live streamed, then we'll be playing in the tournament that's being live streamed. If they're all playing in a tournament where coaches are actually there, then we'll be playing in a tournament where coaches are actually there. So just so you know, we're not going to be like the one group that's out doing crazy stuff that nobody else is doing. We're also not going to sit on the sidelines while the other guys are playing. So the tournament schedule is completely up in the air. What I can say is guys are playing in tournaments. People are playing in tournaments. I've gotten emails from there's a tournament in New Orleans called Basketball on the Bayou we played in the past. They sent an email and said, we are planning on playing. We've met with the city. We have everything in place to play. Same thing from Premier Basketball. If you go to Premier Basketball's website, that's Joey Simmons' deal. We play a lot of their tournaments. They have tournaments starting mid-June. They're planning on playing those. There's other organizations like Opportunity for Youth, and they're planning on starting in June playing tournaments. All right. Well, we got to wait and see, but that's what's happening. And so anyway, I'm going to try to get a tentative tournament schedule made as soon as I can for you. As of right now, tonight, our goal is just to get started on the 20th, just to have some kind of workout and that's the first step. Okay. So anyway, that's just a little bit of information about that. But as far as financials go, with Platinum Elite, what we're doing with financials is we're going to charge you exactly what it costs for us to run the club. So for us to buy the uniforms, which we've already bought, which I already had to pay for ahead of time, I had to order those way back before we even started coronavirus. And so I already wrote a big check, several grand for uniforms, which we're supposed to have this week, by the way. And so we also had to pre-register for several of the tournaments. So just so all you guys are clear, we're somewhere between $12,000 and $15,000 right now in the negative, which is out of our pocket, for this elite organization, for what this is right here that you guys are on this Zoom. We're in the negative, and we haven't asked anybody to pay anything because we've been in a holding pattern. So we had to register for several tournaments. Now, if those tournaments get canceled, we'll probably get some of that money back. But uniforms, we already bought them. We're going to get them. You know what I mean? Using facilities like Game On Sports is expensive. There's just expenses, that go along with it. The main ones are, let me pull up this form here. So this form I'm about to pull up, and I'll do this real quick because I'll send you all this. This form I'm about to pull up is what was going to be our financials before the virus. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this. It might be kind of small. I don't know how to zoom. Let me see if I can zoom it in. So before the virus, and so it's got on here $900 a kid. That's kind of a ballpark. I mean, I was thinking it was going to be a little less, but I don't know what it's going to cost as of right now on May the 14th. I have no idea how much this deal is going to cost, but I do know it's going to cost, and we're already in the negative. So on this particular page, it was going to be about $400 a player for tournaments, $130 for a uniform, $20 for a practice jersey, which I'll show you. I have them sitting right beside me. The camps, a couple $100 for camps. And then our backpacks, which I do have those done and embroidered. Those are sponsored by Adidas. Our preseason hoodies that I mailed everybody are sponsored by Adidas. Shoes, I was going to ask everybody, do y'all want to order shoes or do you want to wear the shoes that you have? If we do have an Adidas circuit, which we might or might not even have an Adidas circuit. If we have an Adidas circuit, we have to wear all Adidas. We have to have all Adidas on from head to toe. So we'll cross that bridge later on shoes. And then I was asking for $110 per player to help cover coaches' expense. All these coaches are professionals. They're really good, and we're not paying any of them anything to do this. Okay, so all these coaches are volunteering, but I want to give them a little bit of cash to pay for if we have to travel for hotels. If they have to drive places, we're just trying to make it at least not cost them a few $1,000s a piece. So here's what we're going to do with money right now. As of tonight, I'm going to ask everyone in the next week or so between now and we get started, if you can, to pay $500. Okay. And so $500 again is going to go towards your daughter's tuition for this. If we end up having to cancel more stuff, if I got to give some money back to you, I'll give it back to you. The whole purpose is just to cover the expenses of the whole thing. I am an open book. I will tell you exactly how much things cost if you want to know. For example, I have an invoice from Game On Sports for our first 3 day camps is $4,000. That's what it costs for 3 day camps all day using 3 courts. So that's really not bad, but I mean, that's an expense. So we have expenses, all right? And we want to make this cheap. We're not trying to get rich or make any money, but we are wanting to cover it, okay? So I'm going to pass it over to Tim now, and he's going to talk to you guys about how to register and how to pay and all that. So let me pass over to Tim.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay. Awesome. Let me share my screen here. All right, Jay, can y'all see that?
Yep, I got you.
Okay, awesome. So guys, this is our website. So if you haven't been to platinumbasketball.org, this is our website. And I'll just show you here, if you go to the Elite Girls menu. So the player profiles, this is what Joe was talking about earlier. So you can go find all and check those out. So you've got it divided by class there. And so these are really cool. So I'll just click on one just to show you, and then you can go look at all of them. So this is Jada's, and it's just a little bio like he talked about, the highlight video, and just some key information for college coaches. So you can actually just go up and copy and paste, and you could send that directly to a college coach, and they would be able to get what they need. So that's really cool. Jay's done a great job, and we had one of the girls that's going to be helping us that helped us with that. So those look really cool. All right, so right underneath that, you'll see Elite registration. So always work under this Elite tab. Our club teams is completely different. So Elite Girls, and then you go to Elite registration. So when you click here, there's a couple of things. We try to make this very simple and easy to follow. So the first step is just your risk and waiver liabilities. So there's a couple different ones. This is just general risk and waivers. So when you click on that, it's going to pull that up. We ask that you read through this. Definitely make sure you read that. And then this one is specific to our current situation with the coronavirus. And so this is just basically a release of liability due to that. So we're going to ask that you go through and read each of those in detail. And then step 2 is to drop down here and fill in your registration form. So if you have multiple kids playing, you'll need to do those individually. So you'll do each separately. And this is just collecting the basic information that we need to have them in our system. It's going to come directly to us, doesn't go anywhere else. This is your agreements of the waivers that you read above. So you're going to click that you read and consent to those. And then here's the $500 that Jay's that is due. So you can actually just put in $500, and then you're going to do an e-signature, put your signature there. And when you click this button, it's going to take you to the payment page. You'll be able to pay via a credit card, debit card, or it will let you do a bank draft, an ACH type payment where you put in routing and account number. If you need to work out some type of situation with Jay, if for example, you can't do the 500 and you need to do less than that at this point in time, talk to Jay, y'all work that out, but this will allow you to put that amount in. But again, the 500 is right there. So you'll just put the 500 in this field, and that'll let you do that. And then the other thing that you'll need to do is step 3 is we require all of our players and coaches to purchase an AAU player membership with extended benefits. So it's $16 is what it costs. And so we actually keep those on file, and there's definitely some benefits there for you. You can read about that on the site. And if you click on this gives you the instructions to go do this. Here's the website you'll go to. You can click on this link. Our information is here. This is our club number. So you're just going to follow this step by step, and this is going to get you the information to get that filled out. Literally, it'll take you less than 2 or 3 minutes to get that done. And then if Jay's email address is right here, if you want to just send a copy, get an email copy, you could just shoot an email to him right here for our elite program, and that'll get him there. So we'll have a copy of that. So basically, it's a pretty simple deal. Again, just come to the menu, elite registration, and just follow these steps step by step. And if you have any problems with that, you can reach out to us. You will get an email, and it will basically send you an email confirmation that it's processed and so forth. When you click to submit, it'll come up and you'll get a confirmation about to let you know that went through. So if you have any issues, just reach out to us and we'll help you with that. So back to you, Jay.
Perfect. Appreciate that. That's great. Tim has done a great job of building our website for us. Our website's really good. If you hadn't looked at it, look around on it. Of course, Allie, who you guys will hopefully meet at some point, she made our player profiles for us, which we are going to pay her a little bit for that, make it worth her while. She's a high school senior, so we're not going to have to pay her a ton of money. We're going to pay her a little bit. So she's done a great job, and hopefully you guys, I know the girls appreciate those player profiles. But as far as the 500 goes, let's just talk about a couple things. If you can't pay the full 500, you can only pay part. Just pay the part. It'll go towards your total. We'll communicate with you individually on that. Also, we're going to have a handful of girls that do not pay to play, because for the most part, it's not because they got a scholarship to play because they're really good and they're better than your daughter at basketball. That's not what it is. It's because a financial situation with their family. So I will just deal with each individual situation. But if I have a girl that I want to play and I go watch her and she's got a great attitude and she's a great player, I like her parents, and they say, look, I just can't afford it. Our philosophy is that we're not going to keep her from playing in that situation. She's still going to be asked to play. And so here's what I would ask. If you have the financial means and you got the money and you're not in a bind, if you want to add a couple $100, honestly, and let me know that that's going towards some girls that need it, that would be helpful. Because here's the bottom line. I'm just telling you, I'm only charging you exactly what it costs. Like, I'm going to take the total amount of money it costs, divide it by 37, and that number is what I'm going to charge you. Exactly what it costs to run it. I give you my word. There's nobody making any money. Again, I did a little bit of money to help coaches cover their expenses. But those expenses will be less if we don't go to Atlanta and all that stuff, right? If we're going to Atlanta, they're going to have more expenses, but it looks like we probably won't. We might not be. So if we're not, then I'm not going to charge you for coaches' expenses that don't exist, all right? But we're going to have a handful of girls that do not pay us any money, okay? So if we could pay for that as a collective group instead of it all coming out of my pocket, that'd be great, okay? Because we're spending a lot of time and energy. We're working hard. We're trying to make this a great organization for everyone. And so, if I could at least break even, that'd be awesome, right? So anyway, if I'm just throwing that out. If you want to help, you don't feel obligated to help. If you got 2 daughters, especially, I know you got double everything, so you're fine. We do have 3 different situations in Platinum where we have sisters in this elite, which is pretty cool. And so anyway, but if you're not one of them and you have a little extra, you can pitch in. Then on that drop down under 500, you can add a little bit more and you can pay that. All right. Okay. One more thing, and then I'm going to open up for questions and we're going to be done. So, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about just our organization as a whole and what we stand for. So, a lot of y'all don't know us, and so I just want y'all to know what we're all about. So, number one, you start a new club, you're like, what are these guys about? Are these the kind of guys that cuss the kids during the game? Are they out there, or do they just sit on the bench and never get up? You might, I don't know if you're curious what we're about, but I just want you to know exactly what we want to do here. And so the first 5 things are our coaching philosophy. All of our coaches will be expected by myself to adhere to these 5 things. And here's the thing. All these coaches already have the same philosophy right now, or they wouldn't even be coaching for us, honestly. And we are going to be different than some clubs. Number 1, compete hard. And so that could be a paragraph, but I want to have an identity that when we take the stinking floor, we're fixing to get after somebody, we're fixing to get all up in your face. We're going to play defense in the summer. We're not going to be one of these summer teams that don't play defense. We're going to get all up in your crap, and we're going to fight not to get beat ever. We don't want to lose. We want to hate to lose. We're going to compete really hard. We're going to have just an attitude like that. Okay. Number 2, as a coach, we want to bring positive intensity. What I mean by that is we're not going to be coaches that have no energy, that sit there and never say anything. We're also not going to be coaches that are yelling at the kids all the time, telling them that they suck and they're not good. We're going to be intense in a positive way. We're going to be encouraging, but up and intense, and we're going to look them in the eye. We're probably going to be kind of pumped up as we go. Okay, so positive intensity. Number 3, we're going to always be trying to teach leadership lessons all the time. We've been doing that on our Zooms already. We believe strongly in building character with girls for their life, and so leadership lessons for life. Number 4, we're going to have a plan. We're going to have an offense we're going to be running. We're going to have a press break we're going to be running. We're going to have an inbounds play, but we also want to let them play. We're going to have a plan and let them play. That's our philosophy. Have a plan, but let them play. We're not going to be roll the ball out where there's no plan, but we're also not going to be so structured that they don't have freedom to do things and create in the summer. I believe the summer is a time to have some freedom of structure in the game of basketball. So that's our philosophy. Number 5 is in everything we do, whether it be our schedule, our practice, we really want to have an organization that is building kids to go play college basketball. If your daughter doesn't want to play college basketball, that's okay. That's what we're trying to build here. And then we have 2 goals. This is very simple. Our goals are, number 1, to be the number 1 club in the state of Texas. That's our goal. If we're going to do it, we want to do it at the best, okay? Number 2, to help everybody get a scholarship if they want it. So when we're doing different things, this is our goals. This is why we're doing it. This is our philosophy right here as coaches. These 5 things. I'll email you these things as well tonight, so you know. Okay. So anyway, I think that's everything I've got. Hope you guys like what you've heard so far. And let me just say this before I open it up. Again, this is not really a time that I want to start a debate about coronavirus, about all that. If you believe that we're crazy for starting, you're not coming, this is reckless or something like that, you don't have to say that on here. You can talk to me later, or you can just not come. That's fine. But just as far as questions about anything we talked about tonight, or anything at all, now's the time. So does anybody have any questions you guys would like to ask? If you can't figure, go ahead.
Hey Jay, it's Sandy.
Hey,
Hey,
Sandy.
do you have any idea of the revised type of tournament schedule because of the kids who are trying to do the college camps, invite camps?
So I have an idea. Yeah, I'm going to try to put something together in the next few days. I've been trying to find out a more definite. Here's what I can tell you. If you go to Premier Basketball's site and you look at their schedule, a lot of our tournaments are their tournaments. Now, the Adidas tournaments are not on there, but Adidas is going to go off the NCAA. The NCAA, I don't know what they're going to tell us that the rules are going to be. Right now, it's 50-50, okay? So that's all just – I have no idea. But Premier Basketball, for example, they have what they call the Yellow Rose of Texas, a really well-known tournament. They've rescheduled that for like June 14th and 15th. That might be a good tournament to start playing. Also, for example, they moved the Heart of Texas tournament. A lot of y'all know about that tournament. It's normally in April. They moved that to the fall. That tournament is now on their schedule like in August. So there's probably a good chance we will still be playing in August because, again, if there's big college viewing tournaments going on, we're going to be playing in those. Okay, I know we didn't originally think we'd be playing in August, but that just might be the reality. And there's even one more in September on the schedule as well. So as far as June, if there's college camps in June, if they let them have college camps, I want y'all to be at the college camps. And so I will be very limited in the tournaments that I schedule in June, okay? We might play one or I don't know. I don't know for sure. It's just kind of a waiting game. Sorry for not a more definite answer. Amy, do you have a question?
So there's no way they're playing the 23rd, right? That's a no-go.
The 23rd is a no-go, absolutely.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to have a camp that day. 20th, 23rd. So we're going to go Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. So the 20th, the 23rd, 27th. Sorry I didn't say that earlier. 20th, 23rd, 27th. We're scheduled to have day camps, we call them, those 3 days. And then in the next few days, I'm planning on having a tentative schedule, at least by next week, that I can send you, that we're going to go off of. Any other questions? Good question. Sorry for not a better answer. All right. Well, you can definitely hit me up on text if you have questions you want to ask later.
Hey Jay, with the facility that you're using, you said you're going to find out if the parents can go inside or a parent can go inside?
Yes, I got an email from them just a minute ago that I've really barely read, but I skimmed it, and I think what it says is they can be at 25% capacity,
Okay.
which their capacity is like 800 people. It's a huge place. So that would mean you guys can probably go inside, and it says something about an app. I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah, they said something about the Dash app or something.
The
I
Dash-
was just curious if you can find out if they have a Wi-Fi connection, because that may determine which parent goes.
Yeah, that's true. I think they will. But yeah, I'll find out more information on if y'all can come in. And again, if they'll let you in, then we'd love for everybody to come in. If they won't, they won't. You know, originally he told me no on that, but I think the last email, I think there's been a new announcement where they've loosened it a little bit more, I think, maybe, or something. I don't know. I think the way it stands right now is gyms can be at 25% capacity, and this is considered classified as a gym, the Game On Sports is. So they can be at 25%. And the capacity is 800, so it's 200 people can come in, I guess. Anybody else have a question? All right, sweet. Well, again, I just want to thank you guys for getting on here. Hold on, that's a private message. I won't read that out loud. I'll just read it since it's, does the parent need to be there to register kids? If you can't be there, we'll figure it out where you can sign the waiver digitally. just get with me on that. So no, not necessarily. We're going to have a waiver for you to sign when you get there. But if you can't get there, we'll get you a way to sign it. It's fine. That ain't no big deal. Thanks for being on here. Somebody else say something? Hello, Littles. See you waving. Okay, so thanks for being on here. And let me just say this too. If you have trouble with like a ride, kid needs a ride, needs help with anything, just let us know. We'll work all those things out. We got people coming from all over. And so, you know, in the past, Taylor and I, we have some extra rooms at our house. We've usually got a couple girls during tournament weekends, different ones, usually different tournaments that they're here, you know, so that we can work with you. I know that some of y'all are like, what? Because y'all don't even know us. Y'all just met us maybe, but we can work things out for you. If you need help with anything, get into something, just let me know. We can help you as long as you're comfortable with it. We'll help you figure it out. Okay. All right. With that, we're going to wrap it up. Appreciate you guys being on. And I'm going to tell you that for me personally, I don't have a daughter playing in this. This is one of my favorite things in the world to do. And I've never been more fired up than I am this year because the group of kids we've got together is truly incredible. And I've tried to explain that to the girls. I'm like, you know, so-and-so, you don't realize that this other girl over here is so good. Y'all are going to get along so well. And it's hard because I'm the one person, and a couple of the coaches too, but that knows kind of all of y'all, at least in some way. And a lot of y'all don't know each other, but I really feel good about our group of parents, our group of kids. We've got some great kids coming into the club. We've got some great kids coming back that we kept in the club. And then we had some that we didn't keep, you know, honestly. And that's one of my favorite things about doing it, where we're really not trying to make a profit because we don't have to have anybody, you know. And so I just want you to know that we appreciate you guys choosing to play in our organization. You guys all had other options, and we take it very serious. We want it to be great. We want to provide a great product for you. We want to have a great time. We want to win a lot, of course, right? So anyway, thanks for everything, and we'll talk to everybody later. Good night.